Hi guys, and welcome back to the Cassie project. So this week we're doing another episode from our 365 days of art. Basically I started this, I think it was last year, and I ended up doing half the book. I wanted to continue and do the rest of this book. So in the last episode we did draw some items you've got in the store cupboard, colour blocking, page of cats, some squiggles with brush pens, wrote down a positive phrase, and we drew the weather. So the next prompt is 190, and that is colour in. So we're going to do some basic colouring in, and I find this is so helpful to get you in the mood for art. It just gets your hand working and gets that creative flow going, which is really handy when you know you've got a lot of art to do today and you're not really in the mood for it. I definitely recommend starting with some colouring in, and then you just naturally want to progress on to doing something else. So I'm using my Ohuhu markers for these. They're water based, so they're just like felt tip pens, but they've got a lovely nib on them, so you can get some lovely detail on there. And I'm going to stick to like an earthy style theme. There was this yellow ochre kind of colour on there, and I just felt like earthy tones would work well with it, so that's what I went for. Move it on to 191, which is who inspires you at the moment and why. So I've just read this book called The Bullet Journal Method, and it's by Ryder Carroll. You may know that I do bullet journaling. I've been doing it for 4 years now, which is crazy because I don't often stick to a type of diary thing. I always want to. I'll get a new notebook, I get a new diary, and want to be organised and planned, and nothing's really stuck until I've done bullet journaling. At first it was all pretty and beautiful, but I now use it practically and it's not so beautiful anymore. In fact, I'll show you. It's right here and it's got all my notes in it for this intro. So it's not so pretty anymore. I just mainly have lots and lots of lists. But it is super handy. One of the reasons I actually wanted to talk about this is because when I was reading this book, it was quite a surprise to me. I thought it was going to be very factual, just about bullet journaling, but he does actually talk a little bit about his life. The whole premise of bullet journaling is to really analyse yourself and to look at what you love doing and what you're not enjoying. So it's a really good way of looking at your life and seeing what you want to change and what you want to keep. And it's funny, I've spent a lot of my life feeling like a failure. There's been many things that I've done which has not stuck, things that I thought that I'd really want to do and I've got really interested in it, and it's not turned out right for me. Naturally, that just makes you feel like a failure. It makes you feel like you're never going to be good at anything. But I've actually been trying different things, and so this book has really inspired me, and it's made me feel less of a failure, and it's inspired me to keep pushing to find what I love in life. Which was quite surprising. I wasn't expecting to get that out of this book, so I thought that I would put that for this prompt. Colour in the circles to create a rainbow gradient going down the page. Fill the top row with dark blue, the next row with turquoise, and so on. Try to use different materials like paint, paper from magazines, coloured paper, and so on. And I thought this would be a great way to swatch out loads of colours. I love swatching. What my dream swatching scenario would be to get all my supplies and swatch them all out and have it all in one place, almost like a folder of all my swatch things. I love being organised, I love collecting things, so to have all my supplies swatched out in one folder would be dreamy. So that's something that I've always wanted to do. I've done quite a few swatching pages, but it's all been in different things, mostly in prompt books actually. I started off with my Artex pens, moving on to my Ohuhu water-based markers, using my watercolour, then using my Inktense pencils. I've swatched that twice. Then I have used water because this pencil is water soluble, so you pop the water on there with your paintbrush and it all blends in and it's lovely. Got just the coloured version and then the water dissolved version as well. And then finally, to make it a little bit more interesting, I thought I would do buttons. So I've got this huge tin of buttons from Granny, and I was so happy about it. She's not actually my granny, but it feels like she was my granny. It's actually my husband's granny, and we loved her very much. Unfortunately, she passed last year, and I inherited these buttons, which is lovely. I love buttons, and it's lovely to remember her because she was wonderful. She was my granny, really. So yeah, I have decided to get a swatch of different coloured buttons. We've got a rainbow of buttons, which is just beautiful, so I've stuck them in there. Finally, we're doing a green page. So the prompt of 193 is fill a page with things that are the colour green. So I just sat there and drew loads of green objects. I just went on Google and was like, tell me green objects. And I just flicked through and was like, oh yeah, a dinosaur, oh yeah, an apple, oh yeah, a pickle. This is such a fantastic way of practicing your art skills. You haven't got to worry about what you've got to draw because you've got all the references there. You're just looking for green things. So you're just practicing doodling without having to think too hard. And it's so good to keep practicing your art, even if it's something that you don't really want to draw. You'll see a huge improvement so quickly. And this is what I love about these prompt books. But also, you don't have to buy prompt books. You can get free generators online that will pick different words for you, or you can just follow along in my different series and just practice your drawing skills. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Do carry on watching some more videos over here, and I will see you soon. Bye.